If the world hates you, just remember that it has hated me first. If you belong to the world, then the world would love you as its own. But I chose you from this world, and you do not belong to it. That is why the world hates you. Whoever hates me, hates my Father also. They would not have been guilty of sin if I had not done among them the things that no one else has done. As it is, they have seen what I did, and they hate both me and my Father. They hated me for no reason at all.
And we are live. Yo, we are here. We are here. Sorry about being live, everybody. What's good? Hello and welcome, everyone. Hope everyone's having a beautiful morning, day, or night. Wherever you guys are, it is currently Friday, October 10th, and we are here live to react to One Piece chapter 1162. I'm excited for this magnificent, beautiful chapter. We went through the spoilers yesterday. I thought they were great, thought they were fantastic. As always, we are not able to put the panels on the screen because we will get a copyright strike. Thank you, Shueisha. Thank you, YouTube. You guys are great. But glad to see you guys here. God bless each and every one of you. I'm excited to go through the chapter. Before we get started, I need to ask, as always, what are the ratings for the chapter? How are you guys feeling about it? 1 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 7 out of 10. What are the ratings? How are we feeling about this chapter? I hope everyone's doing great. Hope you guys are pumped and thrilled for a new show here on the Evil channel, where we crush all opponents of the church, where we stand up for Zoro, where we expose the Celestial Dragons, where we preach love and truth and try our best to balance it with no opportunity of sin. God bless everybody here. We actually had quite a good show yesterday with the 1162 long summary spoilers. I thought the spoilers were great. So I'm excited to read this chapter. I haven't quite read them yet. Haven't read them at all, or at least the chapter. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad to see everybody here. God bless everyone. Glad to see you guys. Let's just jump straight into it. Let's get this show on the road. Chapter 1162, God Valley Battle Royale. Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage Final Volume. Dear Luffy Dono, it's another peaceful day in Wano. We got Yamato, we got Kinemon, we got Ulti, and we got Momonosuke. Thank God that this cover story is over. A very boring cover story. Pretty much nothing really happened. But you know what? It's kind of funny how we have this Wano cover story and I go on a Japan vacation. Hey, me and Yamato are on the same vibe, traveling around Japan. Cool stuff. All right, guys, let's begin the chapter. Rocks and St. Garling are clashing in the northwest. Send backup. No one's safe on God Valley. Rocks versus Garling, and then the Roger Pirates' current location. There's treasure, but you want to go the other way? Well, I mean, everyone should expect Garling to get clapped. I mean, we're talking about Roxy Zebek, someone who killed an admiral. You know, I'm not going to be shocked to see Garling get stomped out by Zebek. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised to see Garling killed by Zebek. I mean, not many people are going to be surviving against Zebek, let alone beating Zebek on a fight. I'm on a live streak, and I'm not Israeli. We've got the Rocks crew behind us and the Navy to our front. Go on ahead, Rayleigh. I'll handle things here. My bad, Roger. Okay, Roger, Goidy, Roger. Rayleigh got Shaki back. What? Man, I'm so jealous. Dang it, me too. Beat Rayleigh and take Shaki. Move the ship to the southwest. On it. Yo, they actually make Rayleigh look really cool, saving the girl, saving the woman. Pretty cool. Rayleigh, you're an awesome guy. Even though, I mean, I still hold that statement in Shabandi against you. Guys, do not forget how this dude Rayleigh, back in the Shabandi arc, he was saying that he likes the younger girls. I forgot how he worded it exactly, but it was so sus. I don't know, man. You can't, dumb butts. Shaggy would get hurt. Focus on gathering the treasure instead. Everything else is still up for grabs. Yeah. We got Whitebeard. Love to see Whitebeard. Now we got Shaggy smiling in the arms of Rayleigh. Shaggy, there's something I've still got to tell you. Don't say another word. I already know. Wait, what's he going to tell her? Does anyone know what he's trying to tell her? Rayleigh is the man that will steal your girl without effort? Not me. Is this it? Yes, I don't know. Vitch is Vitch, so eat up. Oh, look at that. Kuma and Ivankov getting some devil fruits. Phew, close one. And Big Mom just comes out of nowhere. Destroys Ivankov. Eva-chan. Hand that one over too. Kuma, don't think. Just eat it. You have to eat it. Grrr. Save them. If we get a single person off this island alive, we can call this a victory. Yo, I got to give it, you know, chat, we got to give it to Ivankov, you know, cheering on the younger crowd, cheering on the slaves, cheering on the children, you know, the victims of God Valley. You got to give it to Ivankov, you know. Sometimes you just need that pump of motivation, that injection of hope. Ivankov is a source of hope. This island's devolved into a pirate war zone. Should we pull back or try to capture them? All right, people fighting. Is that what's her name? Is that Miss Buckins on the right? What are your orders? Wow, whoosh. Marine group location. Hey, Sengoku, did you know about this crap? I think I recall someone alluding in a vague, rambling report once, and the guy ended up vanished from Navy life some time afterwards. This doesn't feel like a dream. They really did this. Yeah, but what do you choose to do, Garp? You choose to stay with the Marines. You choose to be in Marineford. You choose to serve the Celestial Dragons. So I mean, who are you really, Garp? You didn't serve the right side at Marineford. You didn't serve the right side at God Valley. How many more massacres and how many more times are you going to be wrong, Garp? How many more times, Garp? You're not on the right side of history, dude. What are you going to do? Rebel from the world government in like the last arc? What about the whole rest of your life? Chat, what about the whole rest of Garp's life? Serving the Celestial Dragons at Marineford, serving the Celestial Dragons at God Valley. Your son is better than you theologically. Rox's location. Why ain't these guys dying? Zebek, put me down. We've got no choice but to run. Wait, Zebek. Some others got caught up and transformed. What happened? Is it an ability? Pops, Granny, what in the world? Man, I know like this might be a little I can't think of the word. I know I might be asking for too much, but Oda should have drawn, you know, the Davy Clan getting Domi reversied. It seems like that's kind of off screen and like these guys are randomly demons now. Oda should have included that. He sure is strong. It takes quite a long while to regenerate from his sword slashes. Yeah, to regenerate from his sword slashes. See, because the Holy Knights, they have body regeneration, which is a form of immortality. But now we know he's also part of the Davy clan. Finishing him will please the Great One. Indeed, the interruption to our tourney has turned out to be a blessing. Let me go, Zebek. Are you going to try and fight them off one-handed? Don't you get it, Eris? If anyone bearing the Davy name is caught, they'll go through so much suffering, it'll make hell look tame. I know that. I'm a full-fledged part of the Davy clan now. Look at the dude with the straw hat. Yo, is that Joy Boy? Is that Joy Boy? Joy Boy with the straw hat and the long beard. God bless Vincent. I don't know who's doing the Domi Reversi if Emu is showing up later. That's a good question. I fully understand the fate our clan faces. Now put me down. Hey, if I was the kind of woman who just clung to you and couldn't protect a single child, you never would have fallen for me, right? Look at baby Blackbeard. Look at baby Blackbeard. Child Blackbeard, man. Don't be an idiot. If it looks like they're about to get me, I'll kill, teach, and commit suicide. We'll survive by splitting up. Let's meet on Lelucia, Zebek. I wonder why she chose Lelucia. Like, they didn't seem all that important, so far in the story. Chat, any theories on why Eris chose Lelucia? Finally ditched your wife and kid, huh? Now then, what'll the next attack be? Why am I the only one being saved here? Tap, tap. Yeah, it's so interesting to see this these diametrically opposed characters, between Garling and Zebek, where Garling didn't care about his wife, didn't care about his children, whereas Zebek did care about his wife, he did care about his child. Then they have children, they have sons. We got Blackbeard and we got Shanks, who are again diametrically opposed, opposites to each other, two sides of the same coin. It's very interesting to see this go on, especially to know that Zebek was one of the strongest pirates ever, and Garling rose to the ranks of Gorosei. Very interesting to see how Oda made the parents of Zebek and Shanks parallel and act as inversions to each other. So Zebek's pulling out his sword. He throws a slash. Afraid I can't let you go any further. Now bring it on, you monsters. Oh, dude. Even that slash, like, don't get me wrong, the slash that Zebek is doing on God Valley is pretty crazy. But even then, that slash on God Valley that Zebek's doing is not as big as the, I don't know, maybe the ancient slash of God Valley, where the island is kind of split in two. Almost makes me wonder if God Valley was a part of the ancient kingdom. You and Ohara are two sides of the same coin. Yo, no one's the other side of the coin to me, man. I don't even know why you would say that. Why would you even, what's your argumentation for that? How could me and Ohara be two sides of the same coin? I don't even watch One Piece content anymore. What is that guy up to? Crocomom videos? Maybe there was another Joy Boy secret on Lelucia. Maybe. Zebek! We got baby Blackbeard. Yo, this is what radicalized Blackbeard. Blackbeard just thinking, and then I slowly started to hate them. Outside storeroom 1. Mama, this'll do. Or maha, this'll do. A model of the fishy fruit. I'll feed it to Katakuri. My future crew's gonna be overwhelmingly powerful. We see the silhouette of Kaido with the Kanabo. Boom! Hits Big Mom. Yo, that's a brutal hit. Devil Fruit goes flying. Big Mom's hit. Devil Fruit's in the air. Kaido spots it, grabs it, and eats it. Look at that. Big Mom goes flying. Huff, huff. Nom, nom. Grin. Screw you, Kaido. Huff. Wah! I won't let you die. Huff, huff. I won't let you die. Teach. Yeah, then we have Eris and Dragon paralleling. Huh. So we got Garling and Zebek paralleling. Then we got Dragon and Eris paralleling. Interesting. Yo, is it possible that Eris is Luffy's mom? Dragon met up with Eris, and Eris was like, you know what? I hated my baby daddy. I hated my baby daddy, Garling. And Dragon's like, yeah, I'll I'll teach you right. Get it? Get it? But I'll treat you better. I'll treat you right. Then Dragon and Aris come together. They have a baby, Luffy, and then Luffy's the half brother of Blackbeard. Come on, think about it. Yo, think about it. God bless Mo. God bless D. Dragon links up with Aris. They build a relationship. Aris births the son of Dragon. So then Luffy is a half brother to Blackbeard. Oh, yo, wild. That'd be wild. Behind the game stage, storeroom prize 2. I found the treasure. Woo! I've never seen this much loot before. Yeah, and then we see crosses in the gold in the treasure here in 1162, which seems to be a reoccurring theme in One Piece. Whenever there's like a whole pile of gold and treasure, you see crosses in it. Golden crosses. Whoa, there's devil fruits too. Load it all up. Like we'd let the Roger Pirates get away with all this. Boom. We see that one dude from the Rocks Pirates punching people. Forgot his name. Is that Wang Shi? I don't remember that guy's name. This theory proves that you and O'Hara are two sides of the same coin. Oh, gosh. Drive the pirates off the island. Nothing makes sense here. Even justice. Yeah, okay, Garp, but you're going to still bow down to Emu and the Celestial Dragons. So who are you really? Like, you want to talk so much about justice. You want to be the face of the Marines. Bro, you serve the Celestials. The world government's navy. Please let us go. God Valley is not a member nation. As such, even if I only manage one more, I'm going to save as many of these people as I can. Saturn, is Rocks dead? Well, things have continued to unfold outside of our expectations. In fact, all this intense destruction, I believe if it continues, what is that? A dragon? We risk something else being unleashed. That must not be permitted. Thank you, Kuma-kun. You're no need to thank me. We have to hurry. Anywhere but here would be heaven. Yo, poor people, man. Getting genocided. I had given up on surviving this. Thank you, poof. Thank you, poof. Thank you, poof. Yo, so he's teleporting people away, man. It was probably a similar situation, chat. A similar situation with Princess Lily on that fateful day, and she was doing that to the poneglyphs. There's probably a huge war, a huge battle, and similar to Kuma, she's poofing all the poneglyphs away. That probably took place on Shandora, and that's why Shandora had such a distinct connection to the Ancient Kingdom, let alone the poneglyphs. We see in the Skypiea arc, Robin's reading the history. We get the Nolan flashback. It seems apparent, even up towards the latter half, the last leg of the Skypiea arc, Robin and Enel are having a conversation, and Robin's saying like it's apparent that the poneglyphs are here at one point. Poneglyphs were kept safe here on Shandora at one point. So maybe in the long distant past, there was a big battle on Shandora. Princess Lily was there, and she was poofing all the poneglyphs away. Thank you, Roger, Garp, and Zebek. That's a pretty cool panel, or set of panels. Boss, it's Rocks and the others. Hold on. This probably isn't the time for that. How dare you go after my family? If you want me dead, I'll take you down first. Huff, huff. Dang it. Oh, man, Zebek having to kill his own people. Oh, whoa. Yo, this double page. There's not much to gain here, you know. Still gonna help? Don't sweat it. I owe you since I'm always drinking on your tab. Hey, you two, check this out. Whoa, ro, 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 ro. Yo, the Rocks Pirates are so cool, man. Oh. Yo, why are the Rocks Pirates so cool? So much aura. I finally got an ability. That's great and all, but good on you. At least someone's having a fun time. Ha, ha, ha. Mind if I ask what the hell we're up against? Saint Saturn? What is this transformation? Whoa, a monster. Maybe this is a dream after all. What's up with this island? Yeah, no, it's not the celestial dragons, Garp. It's the island. It's been one adventurous twist after another today. What is it, you ask? If it had to say, that's a typo here. If I had to say, it is the world. Dun. And that's the chapter. Pretty quick chapter. Definitely a great chapter. I thought this chapter was very cool, very awesome. We got some Rayleigh stuff. We got some Eris stuff, a little bit of Blackbeard, Kuma eating his fruit, Xebec running away, throwing slashes out, Garp being a good goy boy, Emu possessing Saturn. Yo, what's the chance that we see what Emu looks like, man? Because at the last panel, it's like Emu's face is silhouetted. You guys notice that? I feel like that's Emu's face, but in a silhouette. Chat, is there a possibility that we see what Emu's face looks like? Is that possible? All right, everybody, drop your rating for the chapter. I'm curious to see, how do we all feel about the chapter? What do we all rate the chapter? Originally, I gave the spoilers a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna knock it down to a 9 out of 10, just because it just doesn't feel like that long of a chapter. Not that much to discuss here, I feel. We did a lot of discussing yesterday. A lot of the discussions took place in the long summary spoiler stream. Chad, I don't know why I'm so sleepy, man. 10, but audiobook is an 8, 9.5, 100 out of 100, 20 to 30%. Are you saying that in terms of the chance of seeing Emu? 96 out of 100. Ivankov's voice sounded bad. What do you mean by that? Chapter 1163, Monster Trio versus Emu. Yo, that's sick. Garp, Roger, and Xebec versus Emu. God Valley might be an ancient weapon. That's why Emu came to stop the destruction. I mean, the Holy Knights are... It feels like the Celestial Dragons' goal is to cause a destruction. Did I overlook something? All this intense destruction, I believe if it continues, we risk something else being unleashed. Okay, so maybe that's why you're saying that. Saturn is possibly alluding to the idea that he doesn't want the island to be destroyed. I need to see the official translations, because I feel like that might be one of those things that, we're kind of depending on one sentence from Saturn. We got to make sure that the translation here is proper. Chat, we didn't do our prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. 9.5 out of 10, and I give the percentage of seeing Emu's face next chapter a good 45%. Yeah, I'm just kind of coping here. I would definitely want to see Emu's face, just out of curiosity. I don't know if we would actually see it in this flashback. Probably not, but hey, a man can dream, can't he? Looks like Garp was not aware of this human hunt. Yeah, but Garp ends up staying in the Marines anyways. Garp should know by now that the Marines and the Celestials are evil and corrupt. They are literally a satanic force, literally. The Holy Knights are literally satanic. The Celestial Dragons do not follow the Messiah. The Celestial Dragons reject the Messiah. Did you see Kid Marco in this chapter? Really? Kid Marco's here? Where's Kid Marco? I actually didn't see that. Kid Marco? Where's that? Kid Marco. We see Marco as in this chapter? Where's Marco? Towards the end with Whitebeard? Yo, where's Kid Marco? Kid kicking some pirates. What if he starts forming sword after this? You just hating on Garp. Bro, how is it hating on Garp? He is serving the Celestial Dragons for multiple decades. And I mean, at this rate, he should have just left the Marines. What's the real point of leaving Marines? Pirates haven't accomplished anything. Garp wants to change it from the inside. Okay, I don't know why you guys keep saying Garp wants to change it from the inside. That's only a theory. I feel like you guys keep trying to sneak that in like it's canon or something. Garp wanting to change the Marines is literally a theory. So you have to stack theories on top of each other, disconnected, to prove a point. Garp is siding with people that have launched multiple genocides. Look at what happened in Marineford. Look at what happened in O'Hara. Look at what happened in God Valley. Look at what happened in Enies Lobby. Probably many other situations as well. The Celestial Dragons are not good people. The dude who kicked Silver Axe in the face. Wait, where is that? The dude who kicked Silver Axe in the face. Wait, I didn't even see Silver Axe in this chapter. Dude, what page is that? Oh, I see him, young Marco. I see it now. Is that actually Marco? It could be Marco. I see what you're saying. I see it now. I see it now. That's crazy. Yeah, I probably would have never noticed that if you didn't point that out. Thank you, Vincent, bro. Shout out to Vincent and Viswa. Bless you. Fujitoro's also a Marine. Does that make him bad? Okay, so here's my point. The Marines serve a satanic force. You probably don't want to do that. I don't understand why you are all so anti-celestial. The world government is a good thing, and people must be controlled. So what if the Celestials are controlling finances and the food supply? Good guy. Good guy. It's been 800 years and no one has been able to bring them down. You swear Garp could by himself. I don't know if you're directing that comment to me or someone in chat, but that I never made that point. I never said Garp should solo the world government. That's not my point. My point is that why would you serve a satanic force for multiple decades, pretty much your whole life? Serve a satanic force. Be like Dragon and leave the Marines. That's my point. I'm not arguing, Garp, you should leave the Marines and destroy the entire world government by yourself. No, that's not my argument. My argument is that, yo, you serve literally a force, a faction that's literally satanic. You should not do that. Just go do something else. Go be a farmer or something. Go work at a bar. Go work at Baratier. Go be a chef. I don't know. Go in Dressrosa and start selling hats or something. Just don't go and serve a satanic force. That's my point. How many more bad things? See, yo, this is like one of those things. This is like one of these conversations where people have to hold a completely erroneous view because they really like a character or because like they really admire someone or like they can't see like flaws in a person. Like, are we going to pretend that the world government isn't completely evil? That's why we are saying it's to change from the inside. There's zero proof of that. Twitch clips. Show me one canon panel where he says he's changing the Marines from the inside. You can't do it. You're literally just making things up. He never said that. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. That's not my argument either. I'm not saying it's impossible that there's no possible way that Garp made Sword. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you're using a theory to bolster this whole agenda. And like, that's probably not a good idea. Like, if anyone's going to change the Marines from the inside, it would probably be someone like Dragon, who was once a Marine. Now he left and he's in the Revs, and he probably has ties to the Marines. He could probably pull strings of people in the Marines, or maybe people like Kuzan, who left the Marines, maybe possibly people like Fujitora. But see, notice how most of those are theories. But when we look at the facts of the matter, what's the facts of the matter? The facts of the matter is that Garp has been a Marine for multiple decades. So basically what you have to do is you have to say, well, who cares of the facts of the matter? No, the facts don't matter. Facts don't care about my feelings. Facts don't matter. Facts are irrelevant. What really matters is this untold hypothetical. You see what I'm saying? Like, discussions like these is why One Piece is better than most shonen series like Naruto. Yeah, I do think that One Piece is definitely better than Naruto. I think Naruto is overhated, though. I thought Naruto was pretty cool. Dragon's the worst example. He's done nothing. I mean, he's done nothing on a battlefield. Like, Dragon's not going out and fighting people. That's my critique of Dragon, being that this is a shonen manga. We don't see Dragon throwing hands. On the other hand, Dragon has made a worldwide army, and he's running it. I'll accept Garp is bad for now, but if he's the leader of Sword, I'm pulling up to Singapore. Look, bro, I love Garp as a character. I think he's awesome. I think like his role in the story is very cool, is very unique. You know, he's someone in the Marines. He won't join the admirals. He wants his own freedom. Grandfather of Luffy, picks his nose, kind of goofy at times. Very strong, got that old man strength, big punches. I like Garp as a character. I think Garp makes the story better. It's just like, but like the thing is just because I like something, it could be anything, right? Just because I like something doesn't mean I can't critique it. And I feel like this is like one of these things that we have to explain like constantly. In like all content, on all contexts, not just One Piece. You really think Garp is a bad person at heart? I would lean towards no. I would like to think no, he's not a bad person at heart. I don't think he takes pride in genocide. I don't think he revels in suffering and stuff like that. I don't think so. It's just my critique is he's serving a really evil system. Is Sengoku bad? I would say the same thing that I said about Garp to Sengoku. Yeah, Garp focuses too much on pirates. Because here's the thing, right? We can't be what's the thing I'm looking for? We can't be too narrow-minded. There's all sorts of problems, you know? Are you a bad person for using Google and YouTube? I see what you're getting at. Yo, listen, bro. If you're going to compare using YouTube to working for the Celestial Dragons, that is an insane comparison. When is the convo between Garp and Dragon going to happen, man? I can't wait for this. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I want to see that. It does look like he puts boxing versus the best over saving someone, though. Yeah, maybe a little bit too much. It's just like every single conflict Garp has had with people is like him versus pirates. It's like, well, what about the celestial dragons that are literally destroying the world time and time again? My argument and a lot of people's argument isn't like they're all pirates are good. Like, no, Eustace Captain Kidd is not a good person. There's a lot of no-name pirates, like fodder pirates in the One Piece world that are evil, that destroy islands, that grape and pillage. No, of course there's bad pirates. Of course you should tackle the bad pirates. But why would we ignore the celestial dragons in the world government system that's also destroying the planet to an equal degree, if not even more? You don't see pirates wiping people from history, wiping islands off the map. That's being done by the world government. Shank's going to get packed up just like his pops. Yo, that's wild, man. It's wild. If Kobe becomes an admiral, does that make him bad? I would want to know the context in which Kobe becomes an admiral, because I do believe that'll happen. That's Kobe's dream. But I think when Kobe becomes an admiral, the Celestial Dragons, the One Piece world government, and the Marines go through a reformation. They go through a reformation. I believe there will be like this big overhaul, this big reform within the One Piece political world. Like, there's not enough, like, chat, there's not that much time by Final War. Luffy has 3 road poneglyphs. Final War is right around the corner, and Kobe's not ready to be admiral, but I do believe Kobe will be admiral. So I think it would have to be something later on in the future, and probably by that time, Imu's taken down, the world government's taken down, they reform the world government, they reform Marijoa, they reform the Marines, and then, Kobe gets folded in. So, no, I don't think that would make Kobe a bad person. Are you bad for running to Singapore instead of helping us destroy the system here from the inside? Yo, listen, I'm not in Singapore, 1. I'm just kidding. 1, not from Singapore. 2, why would anyone want to live in the U.S., bro? If you had the opportunity to leave the U.S., I don't know why you would want to stay. There's no saving the U.S. I'm black-pilled on that. Plane's going to hit Marina Bay Sands if Garp shows up to be on the good side? Bro, what? Blackbeard and Luffy versus Imu will be there? No, bro. Blackbeard is not teaming up with Luffy. Yo, if it's Luffy and someone versus Imu, it has to be Dragon. Dragon would be like the Law of Luffy and Law versus Dofi. Dragon's going to get whooped by Imu, and Luffy's going to have to step in. And that's going to be an inversion of Logtown, where Smoker was bullying Luffy and Dragon had to step in. So instead of Dragon saving Luffy from Imu, it'll be the inversion. It'll be Luffy saving Dragon. Could current Kobe beat all of Luffy's past villains, stopping before Kaido? That's a good question. I think where Kobe would start having trouble is Doflamingo. What if Dragon takes on Garling? Yeah, I also really like that. What's good, Elsa? God bless. I also really like the idea of of Dragon fighting Garling. I do like that. Who's going to fight Garling then? Well, here's the thing. Like, you can hold both at the same time. Like, someone could believe that Dragon starts a tussle with Imu, Luffy steps in, Dragon switches out, and Dragon goes and fights Garling. Like, there's no real argument against that. Do you think admirals have to kiss the Grand Line wall when they get into the office? Yes, bro. If you want to be... That's why Garp remains as a vice admiral. He doesn't want to kiss the Red Line wall. He's not doing it. But you're still serving them. You're just serving them to a lower degree, I guess. Kobe's not beating Katakuri nor Dofi. Yeah, I think Kobe would start to struggle against Doflamingo. Yeah, I also like Shanks versus Shamrock. That'd be cool too. I don't know though, because I've always been under the impression that Shanks dies to Blackbeard. The question is just like, when will that happen, or when would that happen? Could Emu be the founder of Devil Fruits? Maybe. Yeah. The best argumentation I can think for that is the Egghead Island arc, where Vegapunk was talking about the origins of Devil Fruits and how they are tied into the Mother Sea, like Mother Nature, and that Mother Nature opposes the will and the essence of Devil Fruits. And being that Emu backwards is Umi, Emu might have ties to the ocean. Emu's against devils because the D-Clan is devils and the Celestials are celestial and holy. I think like the best argumentation would come like from that direction. So yeah, it's possible. Or maybe Emu had an effect on Devil Fruit somehow. You also have the whole thing about Emu using black magic, possibly. Kiss the poneglyph. Gotta lick the poneglyph. I'm more against Sengoku. How is he the Buddha and serving the devil? Yeah, bro. What an oxymoron. What an oxymoron. Well, actually, no, it's not an oxymoron. Chat, don't follow Buddha. Follow the Messiah. Follow the real God. How about that? Yo, let me get radical for a second. Don't follow Buddha. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Emu equals founding Titan from Attack on Titan. Bro, I have no idea who the founding Titan is. All right, Zane, that was just an unhinged comment. Stop gooning, bro. Never goon. It's either you kiss a red wall or you kiss the pinky of the king. Yeah, pretty. Yeah, I mean, it's probably both. You got to kiss Saturn Yahoo's ring and lick the black stone and kiss the red line wall. Buddha and Jesus would be good homies. I mean, yeah, they'd probably be homies, but Buddha needs Jesus. My buddy thinks Lily is responsible for the devil fruits, but Emu is responsible for the curse. I want to see your homies' argumentation. We all got to stop gooning? Yes, so true, King, so true. Chat, never goon. Let's see here. Loki will join Blackbeard Pirates. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, like that would be, you know, kind of like a callback to him wanting to join Zebek. And then it's like, okay, well, I can't join the Rocks Pirates. Let me join his son's crew. There's an anime where Buddha and Jesus are roommates. Oh, I've seen that before. Like I didn't watch it in full, but I know what you're talking about. Didn't they have to cancel that? I think they canceled that because people were offended. Buddha is the one who imprisoned Sun Wukong, who was a type of sun god in a mountain for 500 years. Saint young men. Big Mom gonna lick the mountain of rocks in chapter 1163. What are you going on about? Yo, Zane, you didn't take your pills today, did you? Straw Hats versus Blackbeard Pirates matchups. Guys, who y'all got fighting who? Bro, I have a picture of it. It's like the perfect picture of all the matchups. I think we've discussed it in an open mic stream before. Luffy versus Blackbeard. Everyone probably believes that, right? Zoro versus Shiryu. Katarina versus Nami. Sanji versus Pizarro. Brook versus Lafitte. Chopper versus Dot Q. Frankie versus Jesus Burgess. Who am I missing? Robin versus I think Vasco Shot, Usopp versus Van Auger, and Jinbei versus San Juan Wolf. If we include Kuzan, the Straw Hats don't have enough people. So, like, that's why some people would believe that Kuzan leaves the Blackbeard Pirates by the time the Straw Hats fight the Blackbeard Pirates. This is a halal stream, Prodigy. Yo, this is not a halal stream. No offense to the Muslims in chat. Sorry. This is not a halal stream. Listen, to my dear Muslim friends, love you all. I just got to ask you guys to find the Injil, okay? I think that's radically important, you know, because the Injil was breathed by God. So what's the Injil? And what does the Injil say? Where is it? Because if it was breathed by God, it got to be true, right? The final war will take place on the Red Line, and Luffy will take down Emu by punching him down to the bottom of the ocean sea, which leads to destroying Fishman Island and ends the flooding. I do like the idea of Luffy punching Emu down, you know, through the Red Line, landing or making Emu land like at Fishman Island. That'd be a very powerful punch. I mean, you know, you could look to Luffy versus Kaido as foreshadowing from that too. Luffy punching Kaido so hard, bro, goes like 15 miles underground. Bro watches too much Sam Shamoon. Man, I miss Sam Shamoon. I haven't watched him in a while. He's definitely a wild boy, but he knows his Bible, bro. Can't lie. What if the fights in the final war will be off screen, bro? That would be terrible. That'd be horrible. My boy, hope I ain't too late. Yo, Javi, God bless, man. We've been here 47 minutes. Only thing is I think Final War will take place in the New World and Paradise. Yeah, I also like that take where, you know, Final War is taking place in two different locations. I really do like that. I tend to go towards you know, Final War, one half is taking place at New Marineford, and then the other half is taking place at Marijoa. So the Celestial Dragon related stuff, Marijoa, the Marine related stuff, New Marineford. The real Christian apologist, yeah, he's Sam Shamoon's really good. You know, a lot of the Protestant apologists, like they're all right. Like, don't get me wrong, like they brought a lot of people to Christ, but they definitely hold very silly views. They hold heretical views. Like when I was learning about Christianity, I used to watch a lot of Cliff Knechtle. You guys know Cliff? I used to watch a lot of him. He really helped me with my conversion to Christianity, but he has a lot of bad views, basically. I think he holds a lot of heretical views. He still doesn't understand how justification works in the Orthodox Church. And when I say Orthodox, let me reword that. He still doesn't understand how justification works in the apostolic churches. He just continuously strawmans the Catholic Church, which is stupid. Even if the Catholic Church is wrong for one way or another, I don't think it's by justification. From Paradise, Dragon will attack. From the New World, Luffy will attack. So do you think that Well, you say paradise and you say New World. Technically, Marijoa is not really in either one. It's in the middle. So do you not think that there will be a grand battle on Marijoa? Have you ever considered becoming the Celestial IRL? No, never. Christian caste system? Nah, not a caste system. It's more so like Christian denominations is basically like churches and people arguing who holds the true view, who holds the correct view. You know, it's no different than like anything else. You know, like people will argue over what the best food is. People will argue over the best movie genre, the best rapper. You know, that's always going to happen. That's our human inclination. So is Emu actually on Elbaf? Yeah, that's a good question, bro. Welcome back, Guts. I mean, at the end of the chapter, I get the impression that Emu's there. Like, yes, we saw how Emu possessed Gunko. And I mean, even then, like when Emu was possessing Gunko, it was Emu speaking on Elbaf. But this time around, 1162, I get the impression that it's Emu's face. Like Emu morphed Saturn's body to put his own face on Saturn. So, I mean, if someone told me Emu's on God Valley, I'm not really going to debate against that. Like, it's possible that it's not really Emu. It's Emu possessing Saturn. But again, like, I just don't really think like it's something worth like arguing over. Evil's been aching to debate. Nah, bro, I'm not aching to debate. I just want to stand for the truth, man. I want to stand for the truth, bro. I got some people, you know, DMing me really ridiculous things. And I try to tell them like, yo, bro, I'll open the stream, man. I'll open the stream and we could talk. We could have a chat. We could have a discussion. You know, I don't really want to send essays back and forth. Like, that's kind of tedious, which I've done. You know, I've sent people essays. You know, people will have like a question or people will have like I don't know, maybe they'll have like a problem or an issue with something. And I'll send a whole big text and they just don't understand or they change the topic. So yeah, I've invited people, but they won't do it, bro. They won't do it. They won't do it. Pick up my comments. Hey guys, did you know Zane is the only one talking? Kaido disappointed that everyone saw Emu, thought Emu was supposed to be a secret. Oh no, kinda disappointed. When you say everyone, what do you mean by everyone? Like, it's probably like 100 people at max. Like, how many people are in that area right there? Can't be that many people. And like almost all of them are going to be dead because when you look at the top left of the final double page, it looks like there's fodder right in front of Emu. They're all going to probably die. Zebek ended up dying. Garp's kind of confused. Roger ends up going to Laugh Tale anyways. Emu is using Saturn like clay to appear on God Valley. Did someone say Diddy? Diddy is the best rapper? Yo, that's the most unhinged view. One Piece TCG, God bless, bro. I'm glad to see you. Thank you for asking. It was absolutely spectacular. Japan served me the most delicious food every single day. I didn't have a single bad meal. Like, don't get me wrong. There were meals that I had where it was like, yo, like this thing, like I had ramen on one of the last days. I think it was my second to last day. And I was like, man, like other spots in Japan, I had much better ramen, but still, even then it was delicious. All the food in Japan was spectacular, bro. Even the convenience store. And I'll die on that hill. Convenience store or Japanese convenience store food, it's on a different level. And people would never understand this unless they had it themselves, because who really thinks of good food at 7-Eleven? Like, if you're an American and you've never been to Japan, which was like me for like pretty much my whole life, and someone tells you like, yeah, Japanese 7-Eleven has delicious food, you would look at the person and you would just think like, yo, How low are your standards, my guy? But no, like the Japanese 7-Eleven is incredible. I don't know how they do it. Saw you at the Ichika Matsumoto meet and greet. You're lucky I don't know who that is. God Valley was wiped off the map to make sure Inu's existence won't spread. Possibly. I mean, it would probably be a mix, right? The Davy clan, maybe Davy clan information. Yo, man, after I saw you, I vomited. Oh, that's mean. That's good, man. Glad to see you made it home safely. But back to the chapter. Have you talked about how Kaido smacked Big Mom? Here, I thought she gave Kaido the fruit. Yeah, dude, he just, he speed blitzed her and hit her with a Kanabo right in the face. That man, Kaido, he's a savage. But are we really surprised? Who's surprised that Kaido's a savage? Little late, my bad. Yo, God bless, Eric. Is it implied that when Rox was fighting Garling, did he split God Valley in half? No, I'm pretty sure God Valley was already split in half when Zebek was showing up. God Valley was already split. That panel of Rox, Whitebeard, and Kaido was fire? Yeah, it was. I thought a lot of the panels here were cool. Even the like the 3 panels of Roger, Garp, and Zebek. I thought that was a cool set of panels. But yeah, Whitebeard, Kaido, Zebek at the bottom of the final double page, really sick. Really sick. Low key, Zebek's wife is badder than Shaki. Fight me. That's the type of man Big Mom can respect. A guy that can give her a good beatdown. What? MD Luffy, you need to go to horny jail. You should see how KOL skipped a panel when he saw Rox, Garp, and Roger side by side. The cope is crazy. What does that mean? Why did he skip it? And 2, how is that cope? Zebek, Garp, Roger. You should see how KOL skipped a panel when he saw Rox, Garp, and Roger side by side. The cope is crazy. I don't get it, though. What? Am I missing something? Why did he skip that panel, and why is it cope? He doesn't like Garp? Yo, Sway Shocks, God bless, bro. Garling watches Fresh and Fit. Yo, I was asking like the other day, what happened to Andrew Tate? You do not see that guy anymore. Did they like shadow ban that guy? I haven't seen Andrew Tate in a long time. What happened to that guy? Is he still raging about women? What happened to that dude? I love KOL, but I feel Garp needs a buff. He needs a buff. Garp is extremely strong, dude. You don't got Garp in your top 10? I thought you knew that when KOL ranked Garp below Virgo. Yeah, that was a very long time ago. I didn't know. I didn't think about that right now in this conversation. I didn't know that had to do with what you were talking about in regards to skipping the panel. I didn't think about that. No, he's just richer than ever. You just have a different algo. Huh. Interesting. He started speaking out heavily about Marijoa. They censored him. Did he? I only remember like one quote that... Actually, I only know like 2 things he said about Marijoa. The first one, he like vaguely mentioned the Celestials. It was like a really small thing. And I was like, okay, is he going to finally start talking about the Celestials? Then I hadn't seen him for a while. Then I saw, I think recently, actually, this was like the only clip I've seen of him in a long time. Andrew Tate was saying something like, you guys always want to blame the celestial dragons on your problems. Like, you guys are fat. You're fat as hell. Well, are you going to blame a celestial dragon because you don't want to go to the gym? I think I saw that maybe like 2 weeks ago, and I was surprised because I haven't seen him in a very long time. But other than that, I haven't seen him say anything. Probably because he's not in my algorithm anymore. Sup, Zane? I'll time out this account too if you act up. Yo, Zane got timed out. Based. Yo, based mods. Finally, L is based. I've waited years for him to turn this way. Yo, God bless For Fun. Tate isn't locked up right now. He's been fighting extradition to face allegations of rape. Still? That's still going on? Yo, did he do it? How's he fighting the case for this long? Is bro guilty? Usually people beat those cases. Like if they're innocent, they beat them at some point, right? And not going to lie, I don't buy the theories of Emu dying to Blackbeard, but Oda's really building up Blackbeard more and more. No, okay, well, first of all, I don't mean to be rude to anybody. And if you guys get offended, then oh well, like grow thicker skin. I think the idea of Emu dying to Blackbeard is stupid. And I hate to use ad hominems and be like, oh, well, evil. Of course, you're going to call it stupid and not explain why. I've explained the Emu Blackbeard case a million times, and I'm just so done explaining it. I think Blackbeard killing Emu is just completely asinine. It's so dumb. You literally have to throw a lot of the narrative into the garbage for that to be true. But secondly, I do believe that Oda's building up Blackbeard. Blackbeard is the ultimate final pirate boss. Blackbeard is the ultimate pirate boss to Luffy. I believe the final pirate Luffy will ever fight is Blackbeard, and the final person Luffy will fight is Emu. So with Blackbeard, Oda can build him up all he wants. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden Blackbeard kills Emu or Blackbeard's the final villain. Emu will change rocks into a demon probably in 1165 or 66. Just pick up this comment. Shout out to 1R. I actually was saying something very similar a few weeks ago. Emu Domi reversing Zebek. But now I'm a little rocky on it because I don't know. Does Zebek have hockey or I don't know, willpower too strong to have him Domi reversing? Pakes with the 5. God bless you, bro. Thank you so much, man. Guys, W Pakes in chat. Can we get some wakes in chat with the $5 super? God bless you, bro. Thank you so much, man. Ewok, welcome back, brother. God bless. God bless, dude. God bless, brother. If Oda finds a way to redeem the Celestial Dragons, then One Piece fandom is officially going berserk. Yo, there's no way to redeem those guys. I mean, actually, well, I guess there is a way to redeem them. Just have them come to Nika, accept Nika as the god, accept Nika as the Messiah, and just start living a better life. Repent, and they'll be redeemed. Come to Nika and repent. I think in all seriousness, I do think in like epilogue One Piece, there will be living celestial dragons. Maybe they'll get renamed to Marijoans or something. Maybe they'll drop the title of Celestial Dragon and they'll pick up the title as Marijoan. And then, they start following Nika. They start repenting. They start feeding people. They feed the homeless. They build houses. They build schools and hospitals. They get into science, stuff like that. They could redeem themselves and repent for their sins. I think everyone can be redeemed. You just got to know how. What if Luffy attacks Blackbeard for revenge of Ace just before Blackbeard could do serious damage to Emu? Well, yeah, that's what I think. I think Luffy fights Blackbeard for a multitude of reasons. One, I think Luffy's going to fight Blackbeard because it's going to be a battle for the 4 poneglyphs. 2, Revenge for Ace. 3, Garp. What's reason number 4, chat? I don't know, 4 for what he did to Boa. I'm still waiting for Crossskill to make a move. They'll invite Dofi for sure. Well, we've also had this conversation a lot of times here. I think it makes more sense for Law to join Crossguild because Law is not going to be abandoned as a character. Law has a dream that's actually very integral to the core plot of the story. Law has a deep connection to the Straw Hats, but simultaneously, I don't believe that Law is going to be working with the Straw Hats again. Then you also have the fact that Oda's doing a theme within Crossguild, the former warlords. Well, what do you have it? Law was a former warlord. You have the fact that the Crossguild base is in the New World. Oh, well, what do you have? What do you have? Law's in the New World. That's pretty much the basis for the argument. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything here. And then when you look at Law and Doflamingo, I don't think that they're both going to be working in Crossguild together. I mean, that's possible. It's possible. I think it's very unlikely, though. I think there's way too much tension between Law and Doflamingo, although Doflamingo was defeated at the hands of Luffy in the Dressrosa arc. So I think it really boils down to Law or Doflamingo, and I think Law is a much easier fit. Luffy fought the Gorosei. What's Rock's biggest feat till now? It depends on how you scale the Holy Knights, because you could say, like, I don't know. I think Zebek probably low diffed Garling, and Garling's a Holy Knight. But it depends on how you scale the Holy Knights, because Zebek killed an Admiral. I think people forget that point. Like, Zebek went to Marijoa and killed an Admiral. We're not saying he beat up an Admiral in like an hour-long fight. No, he killed the Admiral. And it must have been a rather short fight, considering he made his way to the Flower Garden and he looked normal. Was Zebek even bleeding in the Flower Capital? Why can't you say that Rox will turn into a demon? What do you mean, why can't you say that? I just said that I posited that idea weeks ago. Did you hear about people canceling Crunchyroll because they switched to Celestial Dragon servers? Oh boy, can't wait to hear Luffy say how the land was promised to him 3,000 years ago. Yeah, these guys, that's just so random. Are they doing that as a way to start farming information? Like, if they start rubbing shoulders with Crunchyroll and they start doing the translations and the subtitles, are they able to like extract information from Crunchyroll users? Maybe this is like one step to a grand plan, because it's so random. Like, why is Israel trying to do subtitles for Crunchyroll? That's so random. Like, dude, aren't you in the middle of a war right now? Aren't you too busy sniping little kids? Why are you doing subtitles for Crunchyroll? So, I don't know. Maybe it'll allow them to get information from users. Maybe in their contracts, I don't know, through legal means or under the table means, Israel can gather information of Crunchyroll users. God bless, Talha. I wonder what Oda's thinking right now, seeing the Straw Hat flag for real world politics. Well, I'd imagine that Oda would be proud. We see these guys using the Straw Hat flag in the real world because they're rebelling against evil tyranny. Do we really think like Oda holds the position of like, no, You can only rebel against evil forces if it's fake and it's fiction. You shouldn't do that with real souls. Dude, I'd be shocked if Oda held that position. And that just goes to show how ridiculous that position really is. Real souls matter more than a fictional pirate story. Just part of their overall campaign to show them in good light. Remember how Translator pushed woke propaganda? Yeah, trash. They just want to make Hebrew subs for anime. Everything isn't a conspiracy. Why does it need to be Israel to do that? You're telling me Israel's the only nation that can do Hebrew translations? W Israel, W world government. Yo, chat, get this guy out of here. I want to see him nuked. Ban him now. I'm just kidding, chat. Don't ban him. Apparently, when I make jokes, you guys can't tell. You guys think I'm serious. I'm joking. Don't ban him. Crazy how Oda plans to finish One Piece in less than 5 years. Also, the countdown for the world is that in 5 years, they will have complete control. Is Oda planning to reveal info in 5 years? Bro, I'm not going to lie to you, King. I do not believe One Piece is ending in 5 years. I think Oda's a capper, bro. Oda drops at most 34 chapters a year. 5 years from now is 170 chapters. But wait a second. We still need to finish Elbaf. We need the Grand Blackbeard arc. We need the Laugh Tale arc. We need pre-final war. We need final war. And then we need the epilogue. And I think that's fair. I didn't even say Lodestar. That should be fair. That's 6 arcs. I don't think Oda can wrap up those 6 arcs in 170 chapters. Because 34 chapters a year in 5 years makes up 170 chapters. There's no way One Piece ends in 170 chapters. This is why I always tell people when we try to predict, how much longer One Piece has, we should do it based off of chapter count rather than year count. Because a lot of people forget we only get 34 chapters a year. So when it's time to crunch the numbers, we can see how it really isn't that much. A lot of the time people do this because, if you say One Piece ends in 5 years, you're saying One Piece ends in 170 chapters or less. Because Oda's not going to drop more than 34 chapters a year. Especially if you look at the previous 5 years, Not finish OP, but reveal the One Piece. Once One Piece is found, the world turns upside down. I see what you mean now. Maybe. I want to know the specifics, though. When you say they plan to take complete control in 5 years, what are you referring to? Crunch the numbers like a good banker. Got any plans for YouTube after One Piece? Good question. I feel like even when One Piece ends, you're still going to be able to talk about it. Even with Naruto ending, people still do videos on Naruto and get millions of views. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, Boruto. No. Put Boruto to the side. People still do videos on Naruto and get millions of views. People do, dude, right now, people are doing Death Note videos and getting millions of views. You know how old Death Note is? So I think One Piece is one of those stories where there's just going to be so much to talk about. Oda's probably going to continue doing SBS questions. There's probably going to be movies. They might even try to do a canon movie. Watch, I could see that happening. One Piece ends, Oda gives someone his blessings, and then they do a canon One Piece movie. They do a One Piece editor, so like an editor for One Piece, one of Oda's assistants is like, hey, can I do a short spinoff? Oda gives his blessings, and then the person does the spinoff. Then we have more to talk about. Like, I'm sure there's many ways to continue talking about One Piece, even if there's no additional canon material. even right now, the story has so much depth. You could sit there and have a whole discussion on Luffy as a character. You could sit there and have a stream for 2 hours talking about Law, all his parallels, all the inversions, his true dream, his backstory. You could have a whole long 2-hour discussion on an arc. You could sit there and talk about Wano for 2 hours, strictly Wano. So there will always be stuff to talk about. Was Saturn warning of an ancient weapon being released this chapter? That's a really cool point because that crossed my mind guts, but I didn't really play into it. Because someone earlier in the chat, they were saying that I forgot who it was. They were saying that Emu doesn't want God Valley to be destroyed because it's an ancient weapon. So then I went back and I read it. I went back and I read the dialogue and I was thinking like, I wonder like, could an ancient weapon have been released? Are they going to release an ancient weapon? I mean, we know that God Valley got erased from the world, right? Did they erase God Valley like how they erased Seleucia? Ancient weapon, something like Uranus. But if you really ask me what I think it's referring to, I think it's referring to Emu. And that's why right after, Emu takes possession of Saturn. Especially because it was Saturn that said that, you know? Saturn's like, hey, if this destruction continues, something's going to be unleashed. And then like 2 pages later, Saturn is controlled by Emu, and now Emu's about to unleash his power. You see what I'm saying? It's just too much of a coincidence that it was Saturn to say it. Saturn gets controlled, and then two pages later, Emu's here. Who do you think is the third parallel to Rocks, Roger and Garp? Because ain't no way that bum Kobe there. Well, first of all, I don't think he's a bum. Second of all, to answer your question, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe Fujitora? I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe that takes place in the far future. I can't wait for the full design of this abomination Emu is becoming. All-time best One Piece characters so far are Spandam, Charlos, Orochi, Estrid, and of course King Bakori.
What the hell?
Zedeko, put the pipe down. Is the man marked by flames present at God Valley? I don't know, bro. Maybe, maybe not. I have no clue. That just feels like a shot in the dark. Emu better look fire. Off topic, Demon Slayer manga already outsold Naruto? No way. Do you mean like for a month or do you mean all time? Bro, I read through all of Demon Slayer. I do not think it's that good. Probably because a woman wrote it. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Stop getting so butthurt. Nah, bro. Demon Slayer has 220 million copies sold. Naruto has 250. Maybe this isn't updated. Demon Slayer really outsold Naruto? That's actually insane. Bro, it's not that good of a manga. Dude, Dragon Ball has 2.6... What? Dragon Ball has sold 260 million copies, and Demon Slayer has sold 220 million. Demon Slayer is going to outsell Dragon Ball? Bro, why? Demon Slayer is not that good. And I don't mean to bash it. Like when I read Demon Slayer, I thought it was pretty cool. The designs were cool. That was the thing I liked the most, honestly. The fighting and like the character designs and their weapon designs. I thought that was really cool. But as a narrative, it wasn't that interesting. Especially the final. I won't spoil, but like the final battles, right? Because every manga has that. It's like, oh, towards the end, people fight. The final battles, I don't think they were that good. Now, the anime, maybe the anime is a different thing. the animation's really clean, very high def, and really cool animations and stuff like that. But if we're talking about the manga, why? I don't think it's that good. Is it because it's like really mainstream? Is that why? Like, I don't know, bro. We need a new Theory King to step up. My GOAT retired. Evil in the top 5. Yo, are there still people making One Piece theory videos? Are people still doing that? Who's still doing that? O'Hara? Who else? Anyone else? Who else is doing the videos still? Will you be my girlfriend? Dude, what? You just told me God bless you, and now you're asking to be my girlfriend. I'm so confused. 1, I don't do the Skittles stuff. 2, I'm married. 3, repent. WSJ already posted the all-time report. One Piece with 430. KNY 164. What's KNY? Oh, Demon Slayer. KNY 164. Dragon Ball with 160. Oh, Japan only. Okay, that's why my numbers are different. I think it's because people badly want to see what happens after there's no more anime. So then they buy the manga? Dude. Naruto and Dragon Ball are the definition of mainstream. I mean, yeah, true. But Demon Slayer has to be mainstream if it's selling this much. And I mean, all the movies that they're doing for Demon Slayer, pumping in more fans. Only because there's more people on Earth now. That's why they be upcharging us on everything. You know, one of the biggest reasons that they upcharge things is simply because people will pay for it. If everyone said, you know what, I'm not buying that, then they're going to lower the price. But if people pay for it, then why should they lower the price? Like if you were a shopkeeper and you were selling lemonade and people were willing to buy the lemonade for $20, why would you drop the price? Because 9 times out of 10, you want to farm as much money as possible. Most people don't care about helping others above material gain. "6 months you will be my girlfriend, and another 6 I will be your." Okay, yo, I'm about to send you to the shadow realm, dude. As for Emu's appearance, I wonder what he'll look like. Will he be someone significant? Will he be someone significant? Tell me your thoughts. That's a good question. I know that you could make the argument saying we haven't seen Emu's face because when we see Emu's face, it's going to ring a bell in our mind because it's going to remind us of someone or it'll be someone. I suppose that's possible. I feel like it's a bit speculative. The other side would be, no, it's going to be like a new design, a new person. It doesn't really matter that Oda is silhouetting Emu because Emu's still going to be the final boss. Oda wants to retain as much mystery as possible with Emu. I don't know. I don't know which side I would lean on. Probably the latter. Like, I don't think like Emu is Shanks or something. Like Emu is Blackbeard. And when Emu's face is revealed, we'll see that it's actually Blackbeard, and that's why Oda hid Emu's face. Like, I don't think that that's going to be the case. So and plus, like, we know Emu originated from the Void Century, or at least pre-Void Century. You know, we know that the founding fathers of the world government, who are all Celestials, by the way, that Emu was one of them. So I mean, Emu has to have been around for almost 1,000 years. Emu gonna look like Earth God statue? Yeah, Verth. Will we see the alien football head on Emu? Yeah, we're gonna get a Vegapunk head on Emu. Cringiest theorist has to be Dende and Kushi. Why are you so mean, bro? Grand Line reviews another Theory Maker and Demon Slayer books are only suddenly popular because of the movie. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, bro. Aren't they doing a movie like every year? They do a movie on like every 30 episodes. They get like 30 episodes and make it a movie. They get like an arc and make it a movie. Emu is a Castlevania boss for sure. Yo, it's so funny. I didn't even have to read the name of the person who sent this, and I could tell that this is such a Johan post. I didn't even have to read the username here to think like, oh yeah, that's Johan saying that. Yes, Emu is a Castlevania boss for sure. That is literally such a Johan thing to say. What's good, Johan? God bless, bro. I hope you're doing great. No, Demon Slayer is poop. Stop lying to yourselves to have a conscious boss. Emu's real name is Otsutsuki Kaguya. Dude, you know how many people would be so pissed? Morge's theories are fire. He feels Shanks will fight Shamrock, then die to Blackbeard. Yeah, I think that's something we've discussed a few times here, specifically with King J. Yeah, I could imagine what the argumentation would look like. Maybe not the full argumentation. I would have to see it, but I say Emu raped Eris after killing Zebek, and that child is Eris Ditar, the half-brother of Teach, the man marked by flames, and the Antichrist. You don't think Emu's the Antichrist? Emu's like Antichrist and Satan? Or at least the Antichrist possessed by Satan? Emu's real name is Angela White. Emu gonna end up being revealed looking like Netanyahu and saying the pirates are developing Pluton in a few years. Elbaf is 2 weeks away from an ancient weapon. What is the biblical Antichrist? The biblical Antichrist is a human figure who will rise up and be treated as God. He will claim to be God, and he will reject Jesus Christ, and he'll have worldwide power, and he will do signs of wonder to fool people into believing that he is a special gifted person, but in fact works with the devil to bring the destruction of Christianity and bring the fall of mankind. And Jesus Christ will come down and save us as long as we believe. Muhammad, I mean, technically speaking, Muhammad is Antichrist. That's just kind of like the facts of the matter. And I'm sure someone's going to get angry, but like, I don't know why they would get angry. If you don't believe that Jesus is God, then you are Antichrist. Like, that's just like the fact of the matter. Like, for an example, right? Like, let's say like, I don't know, what's a good comparison? Like, let's say I had like a cold or something. Let's say I had COVID, right? Well, if I have COVID, I'm sick. Like, that's just the facts of the matter, right? Jin Marks, God bless. Hope you're doing great. How you doing, Jin Marks? I'm going to say this flashback has another 5 to 6 chapters in it before we get back to the main story. Honestly, this flashback's going great. I don't mind. Yo, keep us in this flashback. Look up Mia Khalifa. Dude, no. The only reason I know of that name is because of my immature past. Chat never goon. Emu's nationality is Israel. What's more likely, Zebek with a comeback later in the story or the Eagles defending the Super Bowl title? I don't watch football anymore, bro. Zebek coming back would be insane. I feel like that would be like Madara coming back. Jin Marks, I'm glad you're doing great. We're doing good. Thank you for asking. God bless. God bless you. Besides, Mr. Beast collaborated with an ex-actress and his last video is horrible. What? You guys know who runs Mr. Beast's managing company, right? Take a wild guess. No, bro, this is not a gym fit. I just have some random shirt on and some shorts. I took a shower and then got out the shower and I realized that I was 2 minutes late for the stream. So I threw this on and blow dried my hair and then came online. But yeah, can anyone here? I want to see some answers. Can anyone here guess the type of people that own Mr. Beast and Kai Cenat? I want some guesses. Take a wild guess. Who do you think owns the managing companies of Mr. Beast and Kai Cenat? Who do you think those people are? Take a wild guess. Just guess. Any guesses in chat? You'll never guess who. You'll never guess who. The Saudis. Yeah, it's the Qatars, bro. It's Qatar. The people. Yo, not funny. That is wrong. That's mean. Yo, that's an insane. All right. Chat, I'm not antiseptic, okay? He was with a Saudi at the last big boxing match. Oh, no. The fact it's still a Loki flashback? Yo, this flashback is great, man. Kai looks like Diddy and his next door neighbors with him. Oh, man. They really gave Diddy only 4 years. Kai is Diddy's son. Wait, are you actually... Bro, what? He's not his son. Israel or Palestine? How about the kingdom of Jesus Christ? How about true Jerusalem? How about Rome? If Kai looks like Diddy, it's because he wants to be like him. He only invites rappers. Look it up. Bro, Kai Cenat is not Diddy's son. Are you on crack? I'm not Googling that. If I type in Kai Cenat Diddy, something weird's probably going to pop up. Didn't Kai decline a Nike contract because they asked him not to mention God? Oh, yeah. You know what? I actually do remember seeing that. I think I saw that like a week or two ago. Based. I'll give you that, Kai Cenat. That's based. That's amazing. If that's actually real, if that's true, I don't know. Maybe it's real. Maybe it's not. You never know. There's so much fake news. If that's real, based, Kai Cenat, you get plus 10 respect from me. That's super based. Besides everything, Israel or Palestine? I choose Shandora, brother. There's a clip where Kai calls his mom and he gets told there. I think it's fake, but yeah, that happened. What do you mean he gets told there? Like about the God thing? The Nike God thing? Neon is weird. Bro, Neon is hands down the most annoying content creator. I don't understand why anyone would want to watch his stuff. His stuff is so stupid. It's so degenerate. You got to be like a 12-year-old to even watch that stuff. And I don't know. Is someone here going to be offended that I said that? He is so cringe. He is so annoying. You don't learn anything from him. It's so stupid. I feel like I'm watching like a 7-year-old that has like too much confidence whenever I see his clips. Like, you know, like when a little boy has like all the confidence for whatever reason and he's just so annoying and like you just don't want to be around him. That's what I think about Neon. Like, I don't know why anyone would want to watch him. There's like a million other things I would rather watch paint dry. Logan Paul once faked an Illuminati party. What? Kai or Speed? I don't watch either of them, but if I had to watch one, probably I Show Speed. I think he's funny. At least he's spoken up on Palestine. That's pretty cool. Speed does offer a lot of completely brain dead stuff, but I mean, it's funny sometimes. I don't watch him though. Like, I'm not going and like, oh, Speed's live right now. Like, I can't tell you the last time I even clicked on a stream from him. And even in the past when I'd probably watch for like 2 minutes and like click off. Did you see Hassan shocking his dog? No, I only heard about like a vague mention of it because I follow an Eastern Orthodox One Piece fan. He's really cool. I think his name is Sephirim Zealot. I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter. He has like a decent following. And he was talking about Hassan putting a shock collar on his dog or something like that. But Hassan is just completely deranged as a person anyways. Bro shows people how to make guns. He supports LGBTQ degeneracy, the debauchery. He's obviously being paid tons to push agendas by Twitch. He pushes the Troon agenda. This is all garbage from Hassan. And his attitude, him and Destiny are like the absolute worst. But see, here's the thing, right? If something ever happened to, like, God forbid, right? Like, we all die eventually, right? If something ever happened to, you know, Hassan or Destiny or Neon or, I don't know, who's another guy? Ben Shapiro. You guys are not going to see me celebrating their death. You guys are not going to see me reveling in someone dying. We were speaking on this, you know, when Charlie passed away. I think that is evil. Even though I completely despise pretty much everything that they stand for, I'm not going to be reveling in someone's death. And I don't even say that as like, oh, look, guys, I'm so good. I'm such a good person. No one's good but God. I'm a deeply flawed person. I pray I don't die today, because if I do, I'm probably going to hell, and I'm not freed from mortal sin. I beg Christ to draw me closer and to please bless me with forgiveness every day. But I think we should not be reveling in murder. We should not be reveling in death. These people have families. These people have souls. We should be wishing for the betterment of their souls. We should be wishing that God has mercy on them, like how we want God to have mercy on us. Skittles or Israel? I think both are trash. People who celebrate people's deaths are weird. It's wild. Yeah, it's not good, bro. It's really, really bad. It's complete nihilism, and nihilism is, there's no point to life with nihilism. There's just no point. Like, you might as well just, like, I'm not giving ideas, but you might as well just, to put it in other words, you might as well just not be here anymore with nihilism. There's no point to anything. Did you hear about anime tourist issue when the anime men disrespected OG animes? No, I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're referring to. Speed, Kai Cenat, Mr. Beast are all fake. Yeah, you know, when it comes to content creators, it's like Hollywood. Content creation, you know, mainstream e-celebs, it's no different from all Hollywood. The only difference is like one is more predominantly online and the other one's more predominantly on a movie screen or a TV screen. It's the same thing. All these guys have managers. They have to sign contracts. They have to follow the quota. Man, I love your ideology besides belief. What do you mean besides belief? They will never make history in humanity. They do nothing. Yo, it's so funny. This guy Johan, man. This guy either like makes like the craziest One Piece connection to something very obscure in real life, or he's just speaking more like harsher than me. And I feel like I'm way too harsh sometimes. I'm way too harsh. But this guy Johan, they will never make history in humanity. They do nothing to move things forward. Yo, it's so funny. I don't even know who you're referring to, but that's so mean. It's probably true. I feel like I would agree on whoever you're pointing at. Oh, US. I don't understand why a country like the US doesn't want to learn intelligence instead of all this crap. Yeah, it's all trash in the US. It's all garbage. It's all garbage about don't go to Christianity, start promoting Skittles, avoid Jesus, take drugs, listen to rap music, watch Korn, do OnlyFans. It's just all garbage. It's all trash. And this is why the IQ rate in America is dropping. This is why the SAT scores in America have been dropping. This is why the depression rate is going up. This is why everyone's confused. This is why no one knows who they are. This is why people are depressed. This is why people are on drugs. This is why the crime rate's going up. It's all downhill from here. It's just all just completely mind-numbing degeneracy everywhere you go. And I had to get out of that, bro. It's sad that not in all countries we are allowed to express how bad Israel. Yeah, again, it's because of their control. It's because of the control. It's literally that simple. If you can't question something, if you can't question someone, then you know who has power over you. That should tell you enough. And guess what? Google exists. Twitter exists. Wikipedia exists. We can go see who runs ADL. We can go see who runs APAC. We can go see who the president of Mexico is. That's a perfect example with the recent meme ban that they're doing in Mexico. Well, who is she? We could see all these things. So when people tell you, Jin Marks, oh, well, you know, evil, that guy evil. Yeah, that YouTuber evil, that One Piece YouTuber evil. He's so antiseptic. He hates the Jays. You could go tell them that they don't know what they're talking about. I don't hate people. I'll gladly expose who it is doing these evil, awful things around the world, who's silencing people, who's controlling things, who's pushing these narratives. I'll condemn it, but I don't hate these people. So, Jin Marks, don't fall into this trap where just because you have pattern recognition that all of a sudden, oh, you hate this person. Oh, you want these person to suffer. Bro, I don't want these people to suffer. We should all be praying for Jays every day. Pray for their conversion. Pray for their safety. Pray for their health. Pray that God draws them closer. Pray that they repent. But pattern recognition is not a sin. When you see these problems time and time again, endlessly, it's the same people. It's just the world we live in. Like, this is just something people have to accept, and people are coming to accept it. Realizing that the Jays have way too much power in countries that they should not be having too much power in. That's just the facts of the world, bro. That's literally the truth. Now, are you going to turn a blind eye and pretend like, oh, no, I don't notice it. I don't notice how all of Trump's cabinet are Jays. I don't notice how the majority of Federal Reserve is Jays and how it destroyed skyrocketed inflation in the US. All these things, we could go on item after item after item after item. Look at all these problems. How are we going to pretend like this isn't a thing? And you know what? It's natural human reaction. This is how people tend to act, bro. People like to band together. True or false, chat? True or false? Black people like to work together, look out for each other. Mexicans like to look out for each other. Mexicans like to team up. Chinese people like to look out for each other. They want to team up. Italians like to work together. They team up. Bro, everyone's doing this. But you know what the problem is? Do you know what the problem is? The ones that have the most control and are pushing these objectively evil things, it's a group, and we know who that group is. That's the problem. Jacob Rothschild, my family owns trillions. We are the bad guys. Wake up, y'all. Yo, based. Bro's red-pilled. He's red-pilled on his own ancestry. Actually insane. Actually insane. You guys own all the centralized banks around the world. Not all. I want to take that back. You guys own a lot, if not the majority, of centralized banks around the world. And that's how you have power over the government. What do you think of Nick Fuentes? I think he's awesome. I think Nick Fuentes is a great person. I think Nick Fuentes needs to be protected. I think Nick Fuentes has the best political position out of anybody right now. I can't think of someone with a good political position, as good of a political position as him. He's unmatched. Now, does that mean I agree with everything Nick Fuentes says? No, obviously not. There's not a single human I can point at and be like, yeah, I agree with every single thing that person says. No, that's literally impossible. We are all unique. We all have our own individual perspectives. We have our own experience, our own history. But if you ask me who I think the best political commentator is, it's Nick Fuentes. It's not even close. There's other people, that are decent, maybe getting there, like Candace. I disagree with Candace more than I disagree with Nick, but I think Candace hits the mark sometimes. She hits the mark a lot, way more than other people. Like I would rather have Candace Owens be president than Biden. I'd rather have Candace Owens be president than Trump any day of the year. Even though I don't think women should be president. But I digress. Tucker Carlson, he's getting there, even though his dad's literally CIA. Yeah, the other 99%, they all suck. Everyone in Congress is paid out by AIPAC. That should just tell you enough. It's odd. There aren't many CDs in Mexico. Most are Catholic, yet one became president. Yeah, exactly, dude. Mexico is a Catholic country. And now, what do? This is exactly what the Austrian painter said. This is exactly what he said. What did the Austrian painter say, bro? What did he say? He said, people debase themselves to and beg and plead for the Jewish votes. They betray their own Christian nation for the Jays. And there's many reasons for this. Biggest reason, probably Protestantism. But even then, the problem with that is I don't think Protestantism isn't that strong in Mexico compared to Catholicism. But either way, it's still Christians debasing themselves for the Jewish votes. They're betraying their own Christian nation. That's one of the worst things that I think about. There's all these problems going on. That might be one of the worst. You're betraying your own Christian people. Betrayal. Austrian painter. It's an international clique which is tearing the people apart and don't want them to have peace. Facts. 100%. What do you think about the female president of Mexico? Not good. She's obviously co-opted. Wasn't the painter a pagan god follower? No, he loved Christianity. I have many quotes on this. He talks about it in his famous book that everyone has heard the name of, Minecraft, if you catch my drift. There's a lot of speeches that he's done. He was fiercely defending Christianity. I've read it myself. I've seen the book. I've listened to his speeches. I know this for sure. Like I've seen it myself. Now, is he a good representation of Christianity? Probably not, but when the left and right was divided, he brought socialists and nationalists together. Based. Now show me your Pokerogue box. Chat, do I show him my Pokerogue box? Yo, I need you to make me a team, bro. Every time I start a new run, I don't know what to use. I'm going to try to show you my box while I read the chat. What do you think about Michael Tucker? Who is that? Sounds familiar. Michael Tucker. Oh gosh, I'm already getting the vibe here, dude. Where's the early life? He doesn't have an early life? Give me a break, dude. Tucker. That's too white of a name. You're trying too hard, dude. That's too... Yo, you're trying too hard. You guys know these Crypto Jays? All right, how do you want me to sort it, Eli? How do you want me to sort the box? I did some price reductions. Why is Israel the real life emu not doing anything about One Piece? Yo, the real life emu is someone that we don't know. Like this person's name doesn't even exist on the internet. I actually do think that there's an emu, but we don't know their name. Like the real life emu probably literally isn't documented anywhere. Like they birthed him in a castle and like no one has ever seen him before. Like literally no pictures, no videos, no Wikipedia page. Someone that literally cannot even be traced. Highlight Legends and Shiners also need a Mon with pickup. Bro, I use Mons with pickup, but like I find that it's not really worth it a lot of the time. I think I favorited my Legends. So Ting Lu, Tapu Lely or Lily, and Ho-Oh. I have a price reduction on Ho-Oh. And then my shinies are here. That's a Weedle, Rattata, Barboach, Combi, and Charcadet. Wait, so above Council of 13, which is above me, there is someone even higher. Yeah. I don't know who it is. I don't think it's possible to figure out the real life emu. Like, if there's a real life emu, it's not going to be someone that's on TV, dude. I also have heard of the idea that you know, it's not really an emu in real life. It's more of like powerful families. So there's like the Medici family, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, you know, groups and families like that, like a whole bunch of families that work together. But then I kind of think like, okay, well, do they have a leader? Def Ho-Oh as a sweeper, move all items from pickup to sweeper every 4 to 6 waves. All right, cool. I'm going to try that out. Appreciate it, bro. Michael Turk. I don't know who Michael Tucker is. Who is this guy? I have his Wikipedia page. L.A. Law. Oh, that's an infamous television show. L.A. Law. Yeah, I don't really know about him, so I don't really know what to tell you. Michael Tucker. Are you referencing someone else? I'm looking at Michael Tucker, the guy that did LA Crime or whatever. Pray for me. My playlist is filled with ratchet rap music. It's the only tunes that will power my runs. Glorilla, Cardi B, Lotto, and all have types, the types have powerful J-powered tracks that keep me coming back. You got to break free from that. You know, that was one of the, so I have struggles, you know, that I can't break through. You know, I have sins that I latch onto that's very, very difficult that other people find easy. But for me, I got lucky. I don't think like dropping rap music is hard. I dropped rap music and I found it easy because, you know, I was thinking, this was before I even found Christianity, but I was thinking like, why would I want to listen to this type of music all day? Like, this is not good for me to be having in my brain all day. I really started to demonize rap music and stuff like that. So then I switched to like Christian rap music, the non-cringe kind. And there's a lot of good Christian rap where it's not even cringe. It actually sounds good. Then you could listen to some rock bands. Like there's good rock bands out there that aren't demonic. You could listen to some Metallica. You could listen to some Nirvana, maybe not Nirvana too much, but listen to some Green Day. You can listen to Linkin Park, Black Label Society. There's a bunch of bands you can listen to that's not completely demonic. Evil never existed, Lelucia. If we talk about the emu plan, emu is the ego and all that. Wait, are you saying the concept of ego is emu? Yes, he's in plain sight. It's probably a comedian like Bill Burr. Most of the time, I just listen to anime rap music. Hey, anything that'll pull you away from mainstream rap is very, very bad. You should not be listening to like drug addiction, sex addiction, and murder. Like, regardless of who's doing that, like that, you don't need that in your brain every day. Like, it's not good, and that's gonna increase your inclination to sin, thus pulling you away from God. What do you think about JP Morgan? I'm pretty sure he's not a good guy. Didn't he work to help start the Federal Reserve? Wasn't he related to that situation? Or are you talking about like the company? Also, he opposed Nikola Tesla. I think he might have had Nikola Tesla killed. Or he had some funny business going on, stole some Nikola Tesla studies. Christian rap is lame. I don't know what type of glaze y'all put. MTM Isaiah is very good. I don't think that's cringe. I have it on Spotify. My phone's not with me. MTM Isaiah, KB. I can't think off the top of my head. I have a playlist. Holy One Dove. Rappers like that. Christian rap is booming right now. Untapped market. Yeah, it's very untapped. Because I think like Christians found out how to make the rap music sound normal, but without that type of lyrics. Or like without those lyrics that, you know, are not good. You know what I mean? Like they have the beats, they have the flow. They got the voice, you know, like all of that coming together. Like they figured it out. All right, Eli, what else do I need to do on PokeRogue before I head out? Y'all hear about the osmotic power plants / advances in fusion tech? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. I am really mad about TV shows and movies who show blank on TV. Yeah, again, it's the constant perversion that not only adults have to face, but now kids. And that's why Netflix just lost a lawsuit because of children being marketed this lustful website. That is Netflix. That's constantly forcing a sex scene in every movie where it doesn't even affect the plot. And then you have people try to cope and they say, no, actually, it was important for these characters to have intercourse in the movie because it adds to the depth of the character. Yeah. Look, you just want an excuse to have soft corn. I said that on accident, but that's actually perfect. You just want an excuse for soft corn on a movie. There's no need for that. Go look at who's directing these movies and ask yourself, is it a coincidence? Because I've tried it. Every time I watch a movie and then I see one of these scenes, I straight up go and I look at who produced the movie and who's the director. If only Dr. Dre did Christian beats. There's probably rappers that rap, or Christian rappers that rap on his beats. There are subliminal messages in series like Netflix and rap videos like Freemasonry. Yeah, I believe that. They're going to push these. They're always going to push these subtle undertones to make their agenda and their narrative and their beliefs and their worldview more palatable to you. Pull an image on the mural that NL found. That mural that NL found? Oh, you're talking about on the moon. NL hieroglyphics. This? Well, there's 2 pages. Which page? Okay, actually, this one has both pages. Bro, why is it blurry, man? Hold on, dude. One second. Thrillerbark.com. I've never seen this website before. Hold on, bro. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Is this going to be blurry? Okay, this isn't as blurry. Bro, how do I get rid of this? Bro, what? Okay, there we go. Check the heads of the winged people. Are you talking about these guys? I think it's what is it? This is okay, this is Birkin, Shandian, and Skypian. I don't think Lunarians are on this mural. Why are 8-year-olds dressing as blanks is crazy? Or yeah, it's crazy, and they show it on Netflix. Yeah, that's completely evil. That's satanic. Netflix would have you believe that over. Yeah, bro. And like they gotta constantly keep pushing the Skittles agenda in all the movies, all the shows, to make it seem like it's so normal. Thus, reprogramming everyone, including teenagers. Michael Turk is a pure Christian. I don't know who you're talking about. Are you talking about the actor? I have no idea who you're referring to. I pulled up Michael Turk, the actor, but I don't know if that's the same person that you're talking about. Could be a different Michael Turk. And even if it is that actor, I don't know anything about him. Each has a different helmet with different characteristics. Then pull up an image of Elbaf mural and check the heads of the 3 beasts. You don't think that the helmets that we see on the hieroglyphics are the Skypians, Shandians, and Birkins? Are you talking about this big black figure and then the bird and then the worm? I don't know if they have like the same thing going on. Well, actually, the bird has like 2 things popping out of his head. That's like what I would call the Skypian. This one has like 4. Maybe it's the demon. And then the Shandian would be like, I don't know, like 9. Maybe it's the serpent. I don't know, dude. Axe, God bless, bro. That's why I like more cartoons than current movies. Yeah. You got to go back to cartoons, bro. Cartoons actually were woke. Like, look at Fairly Odd Parents. Dinkelberg. Why do all the movies have Dinkelberg in them? Do you think Emu will handle all the legends at once? Great question. Probably. And that's going to really show people why Emu's final boss. Axe, God bless, bro. How you been, man? How you been, Axe? We miss you, dude. Unfortunately, we got to wrap it up. We've been here 2 hours and 4 minutes. You guys want to stream this week? Because we're going on break, right? Do you guys want a stream this week? You want to open mic? Talk about all things One Piece, all things politics, all things religion? Michael Turk played in the NFL, and now he has a channel on YouTube named Hang Time. That's sick. And he's Christian. He's spreading the gospel. What cartoon character would you want to see interact in the One Piece world? Oh, that's a really good question. That's a great question. Yo, throw SpongeBob in One Piece. Why not? Why not, bro? Throw SpongeBob. Throw my boy SpongeBob in One Piece. He would be a Straw Hat, man. SpongeBob would be a Straw Hat. I see you're eating better and working out. You look great, bro. Yo, God bless, Axe. Thank you, brother. Axe, we miss you, man. I haven't talked to you in a long time, bro. You got to update me, man, on how your job's going, your relationship, all that stuff, bro. We miss you, my boy. Roadrunner gonna solo Emu. Yo, Roadrunner. That's a huge throwback. You guys remember a Roadrunner, or is that before your time? Yo, Vincent, what cartoon character would you want to see in the One Piece world? Let me flip the question on you. Bro, can you tell me your favorite verse in the New Testament? Wow, that's an awesome question, but a very hard question. I guess it would depend on my mood and depend on the topic, because I love the New Testament. I absolutely adore sacred scripture. I mean, the first ones that jump out to mind is I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me, Philippians. It would depend on my mood and, depending on the topic, because even like when I think about things like with church theology, I think about like Matthew 16:18. I think about Peter standing up in the Council of Jerusalem. It depends on the topic, bro. That's a great question, though. I guess the one that jumps out at me first is I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I really love that verse. Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner were classics. Yeah, huge classic. Quagmire, you want Quagmire in the One Piece world? Bro, you already have him. He's a Straw Hat and he's blonde. Giggity, giggity. Do you like P. Diddy music? Yo, are you on drugs? Fanboy and Chum Chum? Oh my goodness, dude. That has to be one of the most obscure cartoons of all time, because when was the last time you heard someone refer to that cartoon? You literally never see people refer to that. Tasmanian Devil. Wasn't he Mexican? Mickey Mouse is Emu. Yo, Christ J, what is your favorite New Testament verse? Actually, probably if I made a list of my top 10 New Testament verses, I think like 8 of them would come from Paul. That man, Paul, is on another level. Paul is amazing. The whole book of Romans needs to be studied. The book of Romans might be my favorite book in the Bible. I think it's just absolutely incredible. You could literally pick out like a chapter in Romans and talk about it for like 12 hours. Emu wasn't Mickey Mouse. He was? Doody Scooby. Why do you keep asking about these women? I don't know who you're talking about. Didn't you ask about Mia Khalifa earlier? Book of Judas, does it exist? No, I'm pretty sure that was a forgery, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure that is not in our Bible. I I think that was. Are you talking about the Gospel of Judas? We don't consider that as canonical, and neither does the early church. The early church, the first millennium church, who put the Bible together through the power and the help of the Holy Spirit, they didn't find that the Gospel of Judas to be canon. I think it was also outed as a forgery or something like that. I know that there's a bunch of forgeries that didn't make their way into the Bible. I don't remember the full history of the Gospel of Judas off the top of my head, though. You know, like the problem, though, MD Luffy, is like a lot of people who don't read, a lot of people who don't read early church history. You know, they don't read the early church, right? They'll see like oh, there's a book that was taken out of the Bible. Well, first of all, a lot of the books that they try to say that for, it wasn't even taken out of the Bible. It just wasn't put in the Bible. The word Bible comes from I believe it's Latin, right? Biblia, which means books. The Bible is a collection of books, right? And the early church had councils to put together the books and deem books as inspired, and they had a method for that, right? So a lot of people, they don't read into this. They don't read the like, for an example, I believe Carthage was one of the councils that worked on the canon. They don't read through the history. They don't know how the Bible was put together, and all they do is like they heard from like what's that one black guy that does like the alien stuff and the New Age spirituality stuff? Billy Carson. They'll hear from Billy Carson, and they'll hear him say like, "Oh, did you know that the Gospel of Barnabas was taken out of the Bible and it's actually very old?" Like they're not reading early church history, dude. Literally, no one in the early church was holding to those things, because not only were the majority of them were literally forgeries, or we didn't know who wrote them, and they were contradicting themselves all over the place. They had things that just literally didn't make any sense for the context of in which it was written. All types of problems. But you know, they have like this anti-Christian bias, but then they want to tell Christians what books in the Bible should be there or not. It's just completely ridiculous. It's like hating One Piece and like refusing to read One Piece, and you want to tell a One Piece fan, I don't know, what the best arc is or something. I don't know. Remember watching an episode debunking the Book of Judas as a kid on Nat Geo? Forgive their fathers, for they know not what they do. Is the number how many? Wait, what do you mean? Forget, for they know not what they do is the number how many? What do you mean is the number how many? I'm confused. Are you asking for the Bible verse? Jesus said that on the cross. I don't remember what verse. It's towards the end of one of the Gospels. It might be at the end of Gospel of John. Council of Trent took books out, I believe. No. So the Council of Trent reaffirmed the canon of Scripture. So basically, the early church was already canonizing books they were already canonizing the Bible. The canon of Scripture was already put into place by like the 4th century, right? And time went on. Actually, a whole 1,000 years went on, all the way until the 16th century, 17th century. The Protestant Reformation began to happen. Martin Luther wanted to have a reform in the Catholic Church. He was going against a lot of Catholic doctrine, which we know is false. Like what his positions were holding were false. They were stupid. And basically, we actually have the writings for this, Eli. You can literally go read this. Martin Luther would debate cardinals in the Catholic Church, and he would get so blown out and destroyed and just mocked in debates against cardinals. So what Martin Luther did was he took the Catholic Bible, the full Bible, and he took books of that Bible and he moved it to its own section. Some years passed, and the printing press of, I believe, in Europe, I think some parts of Germany, they found that printing the Bible in full was very expensive. So what they did was they took the section of books that Martin Luther moved to the side because they proved his arguments wrong. They took his section and stopped printing that section. And when they did that, it was a Bible missing books. That's called the Protestant Bible. But now a lot of people, they don't want to talk about this very damning history, or they straight up don't even know this. So they have to come up with all these reasons as to why the Protestant Bible has less books than the Catholic Bible. But even then, again, the books that the Protestant Bible is missing were available in the first millennium church. So you wouldn't be only going against Catholics, you would be going against Oriental Orthodox Christians, you would be going against the Syrian Church of the East, and you would be going against Eastern Orthodox churches. You would basically be going against the early church, and that's just a horrible position to take. It's very, very bad. I think there's never a situation where someone should go against the early church. You are signing your own death contract, because it makes no sense at all. Jesus promised that his church will never fall to the gates of Hades. Jesus promised the Holy Spirit will guide the church into the fullness of truth and nothing but the truth. So clearly, like, there was a visible church when Jesus died. Clearly, Saint John trained an apostle named Polycarp. Clearly, all of the early Christians who held councils like Nicaea and Ephesus and Chalcedon, this was a visible church. So for people to come from a church that was made like 20 years ago or something, and they're like, no, actually, the early church is wrong. That, in my opinion, that's complete lunacy. And if anyone disagrees, I invite anyone to join join the stream. Join the open mic. We're going to have an open mic this week. I was actually supposed to end the stream like 10 minutes ago, but join the open mic. I would love to chat. I would love to hear anyone's perspective. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you disagree on, what you agree on, whatever it is. We can have a discussion, but I'm telling you right now, to go against the early church is that's suicide, bro. Once you read the early church and see what the saints have to say, you look at the consensus, it just makes no sense. Romans 5:3-5 and Philippians 4:13 is, for me personally, it's like the process and the answer to the strength in the process. Philippians 4:13, that should be, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, right? And I think Romans 5:3-5 is that suffering builds perseverance, and perseverance builds character. Is that what you're referencing? Romans 5:3-5. Oh yeah. Not only that, but we even boast of our afflictions, knowing that affliction produces endurance, and endurance proven character, and proven character hope. And hope does not disappoint, because the love of God has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit that has been given to us. Beautiful, phenomenal verse. St. Paul, pray for us. And then you said Philippians 4:13. I think that's what I quoted earlier, right? Yeah. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Yeah. You know, when I read Romans 5:3-5, when I read this for the first time, I thought this was spectacular, bro. If you're going to be Christian, you should be Catholic, but I have a problem with faith. I can't believe truly Christ is God. You got to open your heart and revisit it, man. You got to revisit it. Start asking the hard-hitting questions. Ask yourself, why were these early witnesses willing to die for something that they know is a lie? I'm not talking about the Christians that believe Jesus was God. I'm talking about the Christians that claim to see him resurrect. Why would all those guys be willing to die for a lie? That's insane. You got to ask yourself about all the prophecies pointing to Christ from the Old Testament, bro. Look, there is a tremendous amount of foreshadowing and prophecies pointing at Christ from the Old Testament, things you can't even deny, dude. What's the famous one that they don't read in the synagogues? Isaiah 53. Let me show you this one, bro. Isaiah 53, written centuries before Jesus Christ was born, from the Old Testament. Let me show you this one, and we're going to end the stream here. Look at Isaiah 53. Who would believe what we have heard? To whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? He grew up like a sapling before him, like a shoot from the parched earth. Which, by the way, Nazareth relates to the word shoot, like a shoot, like wood, a tree. He had no majestic bearing to catch our eye. Jesus wasn't spectacularly beautiful, right? No beauty to draw us to him. He was spurned and avoided by men, a man of suffering, knowing pain, like no one from whom you turn your face. Spurned, and we held him in no esteem. Yet it was our pain that he bore, our sufferings he endured. We thought of him as stricken, struck down by God and afflicted. But he was pierced for our sins, crushed for our iniquity. He bore the punishment that makes us whole. By his wounds we are healed. We had all gone astray like sheep, all following our own way, but the Lord laid upon him the guilt of us all. Tell me this is not foreshadowing Jesus Christ, bro. End of story. That's why they won't read this in the synagogues. And this is a pure fact. Fact check me. Why do Jays not read Isaiah 53 in synagogues, bro? That is 100% fact. If you don't believe me, go look it up. Little kids will go to the synagogue and they'll ask their rabbis, why can't we read Isaiah 53? Who is that talking about? So let me ask you, Chad, I'll leave this here for you. Isaiah 53. Go read this and ask yourself, who is this talking about? God bless everyone for being here. I hope everyone has a beautiful morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. You guys are amazing, spectacular friends, great homies, great supporters. You guys are tremendous, beautiful people. We will be back with another stream during this break stream. Maybe one, maybe two. I don't know. We need to make up for my Japan vacation. God bless. I'll be praying for you guys. Pray for me. Take care, chat. Peace.
If the world hates you, just remember that it has hated me first. If you belong to the world, then the world would love you as its own. But I chose you from this world, and you do not belong to it. That is why the world hates you. Whoever hates me, hates my Father also. They would not have been guilty of sin if I had not done among them the things that no one else has done. As it is, they have seen what I did, and they hate both me and my Father. They hated me for no reason at all.